It is Monday, November 25th, and it is one of my last days that I'm going to have to be able to hunt in the regular firearm deer season here in Michigan. And this morning, I'm out looking for a doe. It has been a very good year for me so far this year. I've already filled both of my buck tags, and I've already filled 2 antlerless deer tags, and all 4 deer have been taken into the processor for the local food pantry. This morning, I'm out looking to take another doe to help limit that deer population that we have here in Mid Michigan. It's been a great hunting year so far. I've seen so many deer, probably more than I've ever seen before, and this morning, I should have no problem running across a nice big doe to take. I haven't been out in the woods in a few days, so I'm hoping that it gave the deer some time to calm down after I took my last buck. I'm sitting out this morning in the elevated hunting blind that I built a couple years ago. I call this one the buckhorn, as I put all of my deer racks and antlers that I've taken and the ones that I find from sheds laying around the woods, and I attach them to this hunting blind. This is also a part of the woods that I came through a couple years ago and did several deadfalls and hinge cuts to help open up the woods and let the ground cover grow. You can see it's pretty brushy out here, and the deer really seem to like it. My mission for this year is to come through and thin up some of these trees that are laying on the ground and use it for firewood. But right now, my attention is focused on a doe that's way out there. You can probably just barely see the dark spot moving around. She came in right away this morning. She actually saw me through the window of my blind before I saw her. I've got my 350 scope right on her front shoulder, watching her as she paces back and forth behind some trees. And as soon as she comes out of those trees, I'm going to take the shot. I'm actually really surprised at how far she ran, and that she even ran at all. Once I put my rangefinder on her, she was only about 37 yards away, and my 350 is definitely capable of shooting out to 150 yards pretty spot on. So to see her run made me really question whether or not I even hit her. It's time now to climb out of the blind. I gave her about 30 minutes to sit there, and I'm going to climb down and walk over and see if I can even find blood to begin with. You can see down there on the bottom some of the horns from the deer that I've taken in the past. That's why this blind is called the buckhorn. I have it completely surrounded and attached all of my antlers and all of the racks that I have to that deer blind. And little by little, animals do eat on them, but that's okay. It's all part of the process. I'm really not confident that I hit that deer because I really expected her to drop for how close she was. I'm used to shooting a 12 gauge with 3-inch slugs, and I'm used to the deer just dropping once I shoot them. The 9-point that I shot just a few days ago ran a good 40 yards before it dropped, and that's the first deer that I've had run in years because I've been hunting with a shotgun up until now. As I approach the back of the woods where I shot at her, I go a little bit slower because I half expect her to jump up and take off and me to have to throw a couple shots off at her. But that does not happen, as you can see here. So I just shot a doe somewhere right up in here, sitting in the blind over there. She was out here for quite a bit, eyeballing me. She knew something was up. And when I shot her, she ran. She's not even that far away. And she ran, and it surprised me. So she ran up this trail here. And I'm not seeing any blood. But there's absolutely no reason that I would have missed her. she kept pacing back and forth behind a larger tree. And I was debating the whole time whether to shoot her or not shoot her, and I finally decided just to shoot her because I've taken a couple bucks and I wanted to take a couple doe as well. I can't believe there's no blood. There's blood finally. Got blood right down here. Quite some good blood now. Well, it was. Until it wasn't. I know she ran up this way. There's some more. Right there. I got some on a leaf right down here. Not a lot of blood. For how darn close she was, I really thought there'd be quite a bit more. And it sucks because everything's wet. There's some. So it doesn't take long when everything's wet because it's been sprinkling to wash out the blood trail. There's some right there, so I'm right on the same path still. There's a little bit there. I knew she came up this way. I just didn't know if she followed this path right here out, or if she turned and she cut up a path that's going over there, but it looks like she definitely came up this way. There's more blood there. Quite a bit right there. All up here. I don't feel like she ran far because I looked up the edge of the woods thinking I'd see her running across the field or through the field, and I didn't. But that doesn't mean nothing. I don't see a lot of things that I think I should. Well, I think she came through here. I could be wrong. Because now I'm not seeing any blood out here, and I think I should. Maybe I need to step back in and backtrack. Oh, there's blood right there. So did she keep going? I feel like she had to have come up through here, even though I don't see any blood. And then she turned. I'm not seeing blood though. What the hey? Oh. She's right here in front of me. She's right by my tree stand. Nice big doe for the food pantry again. Sweet. I'm gonna go get the tractor and get out of all these thick clothes. It's been a great deer hunting season out here at the farm so far. We have taken a total of 6 deer off the farm this year, and all of the meat that's coming from these deer is being donated to the local food pantry here in town. We have a local processor nearby that butchers the deer and processes the meat for a really fair price for the local food pantry, so none of this venison is going to waste. It's no secret that I don't really like venison, and we definitely don't eat it in my household enough to justify taking the deer, except for the purpose of donating it to the food pantry. With so many deer in the area nowadays, I feel like taking these deer and donating them to the food pantry is just the right thing to do to not only help feed the community, but help keep the deer population in check and under control